Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Right, wobbly barrel. Let's move that a bit. Let's get straight into it. Let's talk about Meghan's dog, Guy, who apparently passed away. I don't know when, I don't know if, I don't know how. If true, and I have to use the words, if true, then it is really sad for the family. It always is with a pet. Pets are not pets. Pets are actually members of the family. Well, the reason I say if true is because I find it incredibly difficult to believe anything that Meghan says. Because once upon a time, Archie was nearly burned to death. Remember that? There was a catastrophic car chase in New York for 2 hours. Remember that? I remember when I first read about the catastrophic car chase, and I remember the blood. It felt like the blood had drained, and I just thought, oh my God, Diana, here we go again. That for the first 30 seconds, that's how I felt. And then I started to think, hang on a minute, 2 hours? I mean, the thing that happened with Diana, that was quite short, 2 hours, New York. And then of course it came out. There was the op-ed in whatever American newspaper about the myth carriage. I'm sorry, I don't believe that one either. When she said all about racism on Oprah, I was like, I don't believe we're going here. So then she's got this cooking show coming out, which is getting horrible reaction, and tens of thousands of negative comments. And all of a sudden, same as the myth carriage, same as the Archie nearly burned to death, even though he wasn't even in the fucking room. Same as all of these stories. Well, what was the other one? I've forgotten. There have been so many, haven't there? Oh, the car chase. And it turns out to be nothing. I find this really, really difficult. I have watched her video, and I really don't know what's going on in that video. It seems really all about her. It comes across as another PR push, feel sorry for me because my cooking show is coming out. I'm sorry if this sounds cynical, that is how it comes across to me. That it's just timed to suddenly get some sympathy, to be a victim again, in order to get people to like her cooking show. Interestingly enough, I also saw a black lady going absolutely apeshit over on Twitter on a video. I won't put a link because I don't want to encourage those of you that are not on Twitter to go onto Twitter because it is really toxic over there. I've been avoiding it myself lately. I just do the odd post and look at a few comments on my post and walk away. I don't really look around. Anyway, this black lady is going crazy because there are no other women of colour in the kitchen with Meghan. I mean, it is talk about white, middle-aged women. It's not exactly representing her 43% Nigerian, is it? Again, it all comes across as so disingenuous. And the voices of who are supposed to be Archie and Lily, to me, I'll be completely honest, it gave me vibes of a horror film, especially the little singing thing at the end. I can't really name a horror film that I've heard that kind of singing, but you hear child singing while something catastrophic is going on. It just came across as that. Again, so contrived, so hammy. I repeat, I'm very sorry for them if their dog has died. I mean, some people have said, well, didn't the dog have the accident in Canada, but then they're treated in Surrey in England? Or did she fly the dog over? Wasn't there another dog that she left in Canada because they didn't like Harry? It's all smoke and mirrors and no one really knows what's going on because they themselves are not clear. Now, I'm going to come to something quite hard-hitting now. The fires in Hollywood. Well, I have just read that a man in his 20s has been arrested, apparently apprehended by citizens. They said, this morning, Trevor phoned me up and he said there's someone been arrested for arson. Because, we're all watching these horrific, absolutely, utterly horrific, apocalyptical scenes going on. And It kind of reminded me of Ashli. Those of you who don't know, I will put a link in the description to her channel. Although Ashli sadly died a couple of years ago now of cancer, a lot of you will remember that Ashli's house was set fire to. And it was like really mysterious, and arson was suspected. And so my heart goes out to the people in California, the same as it did with Ashli. Now this man in his 20s, when Trevor said, oh, they've arrested someone for arson this morning, phones up. And I thought, well, you hear of this sort of thing when there's been a fire, especially a bushfire. They say, oh, it was arson. And I often think, how do you know? How can you be sure? Because these kind of things, it could be like a little piece of glass in the sun, like a magnifying glass can start it. So, I'm always a bit skeptical. But then I read in the Independent newspaper, right, which is very pro. I'm not going there. And they explain that this man in his 20s apparently, and this is early stages, was seen with some sort of a bottle on his back, bright yellow, and appeared to have a flamethrower. Now, what this is all about, I have no idea. So at this stage, on the face of things, it looks like some crazy person trying to start another fire in another district. So it doesn't necessarily mean that person started fires elsewhere. Or was it somebody very ill-advised thinking that they would set fire to the shrub round their property? Because I know that is a method to keep fire down. Or is this a Looney Tune? And then I see Harry and Meghan have released a statement, like anyone fucking cares what they think, and kind of ordering other people to take in people's pets, take in disabled. You need to do you. Get up. But they've got a 16-bedroom mansion, 16-bathroom mansion. You take some people in. Wouldn't it have been better in their statement to say, if there's anything we can do to help, we will give them up? Well, I haven't read the statement. I'm just taking other people's word for it. I haven't read the statement because I don't really care what Harry and Meghan think. They are not elected in America. Harry is not the Prince of America. America fought for its independence. We've been through all this. If anybody is going to go and visit, it will be the President of the United States, which I'm not quite clear on this bit, but it is still Joe Biden, isn't it? Until the 20th of January when Donald Trump will be inaugurated. So, it's not for... I don't know. In the UK, if there were a catastrophe, then once things have calmed down, frequently members of the royal family will go and visit, but they don't want to be a nuisance, a burden in the stages when people are still fighting fires. It's extraordinary what's happening there. And honest to God, the first thing I thought of was Ashli. And it's shocking. I think I'm going to have to wait a week or two because more will come out about this arsonist. Who is this young man? What was he doing? Was it intentional? Was he stupidly trying to burn something out to create a firewall? Was he actually deliberately trying to start a fire with a flamethrower? That's what the Independent said. I'll put a link so you can read it yourself. What in the holy hell is he thinking doing that? And what were his motivations? And this is a joke, okay? This is a joke, everybody. I'm sure it wouldn't be some crazed loon sugar who's livid that A-listers won't work with Meghan, so they thought they'd show them what for. That's a joke. Okay, YouTube, that is a joke. It seems to me very localised. Although it's a large area, it just seems really focused, on Hollywood. It's the names that are coming out. These people have lost their homes. And the dog thing now pales into insignificance. Again, when I read the dog thing, my heart sank. That blood-draining feeling moment for about 30 seconds. And then I thought, hang on a minute, this is Meghan Markle we're talking about. I don't know whether to believe this or not. Is this another catastrophic car chase? This is like super weirdness. What are we on now? We're on the 10th of January. We got 5 days to go till the programme comes out. I also noticed a couple of really super weird things. Reed Hastings has been shedding his Netflix shares to the tune of about $31 million worth. He's, as far as I read, he'd shed on the 2nd of November last year, again on the 2nd of December, and again 2nd of January this year. So I believe he only actually holds about 114 shares now in Netflix. Well, why? And then I saw some article, which seemed to very quickly disappear, saying, making allegations of insider trading. Isn't that what Martha Stewart was sent to prison for? I mean, and then I saw that other YouTuber, what's he, right, I'm going to get this guy's name right. Mike Zero. And he seems to know what's going on. But I did watch a video of his where he said that the board of directors have backed Meghan, whereas the people on the ground are like, this is, you know, it's clearly not going to work. Well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, they would have to be completely and utterly suicidal from a business point of view to stick with Markle. And I just don't think people are. Why has Reed Hastings shed all those shares? To the tune of, well, it's got to be about like $100 million worth. And he only holds now about $48,000 worth. Mind you, I did also read that he has a family trust fund which owns a lot of Netflix shares, and apparently they haven't sold them. Or I mean, I don't know, maybe they have and we just don't know about it yet. I think Netflix shareholders will be waiting for the first quarter report, or Q4 from last year to come out quite soon. So that'll be pretty telling. And I can tell you from here in Spain, if I search Netflix shares on Google News, all I get is about 4 articles that say things like Meghan Markle shares recipes. And I think, yeah, okay, right, maybe this is something lost in translation. I know that in America they speak English, but maybe it's Netflix stock. So I try Netflix stocks on news. Now, normally when you search any company or crypto on the price fluctuation or information, there's hundreds of articles. Again, only 4 articles saying things like, Meghan Markle makes chicken stock. And I think, no, that's not the kind of stock I was talking about. And it's not the kind of sharing I was talking about. I was talking about the actual shares of Netflix, the actual stock price of Netflix. And I'm not finding any information out. That's just here in the European Union in Spain. Perhaps you guys get a deluge of articles elsewhere. There's big shit going down, left, right and centre, and a lot of questions. Now, if we're going to go into a parallel universe type if moment, if it transpires that this young man definitely was deliberately starting the fires, and I believe, you know, FBI, everybody's going to be all over this, and they will go through private CCTV, they will go through street cameras, they will follow and track. They will seize devices. They will find a lot out. If it were to transpire that this is some crazy loon fan, a sugar, like, I mean, okay, this sounds out there, but there's a crazy loon sugar fan who lives in Leeds who threatened to put a bullet in mine and Graham's head. Same lunatic threatened to blow up Buckingham Palace. Wasn't there another lunatic who had a crossbow at Windsor Castle? Did we ever get to the bottom of what this person was all about? Well, seeing as Hollywood has very much been the target of this, I would imagine that they're going to want to get to the bottom of all of this and find out who did this. I mean, how horrific. Talk about a terror attack if this really is deliberate. People burned alive in their beds. Oh my God. It's unthinkable. And then the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's released their statement to like smooth everybody over. Well, they could have released a statement days ago. This fire has been going on for days. They suddenly released a statement? I don't know. Call me a doubting Thomas. Call me a skeptic. These are just my thoughts off the top of my head. This is the thought process of someone reading the mainstream media. That's, you know, I'm independent, can't get much more mainstream than that. Haven't seen anything in the Daily Mail yet, but they do tend to be a newspaper who want to find out, what's the name of this guy? What's this guy into? Let's look at his social media posts. Who is this person? Because, I mean, you can have, like a celebrity can have fans that are crazy. It doesn't mean the celebrity asked them to do the crazy thing. You know, they're just crazy people. My psychology book still hasn't turned up yet. I'm really looking forward to that one so we can all go through it together and work out why people would do things like this. What in the holy hell would provoke or motivate someone to do such a terrible, terrible thing? Anyway, so the dog thing, that's all. paled into insignificance, and we await the arrival of the... Well, I do. You guys don't have to watch it. I'll watch it for you. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I'm going to binge watch it when it arrives. That's unless it's delayed until February, because apparently somebody wants everybody fired, or everyone has been fired, and it's got to be a new trailer, and there's going to be a delay. I mean, I don't know. Your guess is as good as my guess, and I would love to hear your guesses in the comments below. Thank you all very much for listening, and please do stay safe out there.